Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome back to more Darktide. Now, you might be saying, why don't you play other classes? Well, tell the other classes to be more fun. Anyway, we're back, and there's discourse on Twitter about who would win, 100 men or a gorilla. Now, obviously, the 100 men would eventually beat the gorilla. But also, at the same time, it's incredibly funny to pretend the gorilla is some sort of Super Saiyan, perhaps a Viltrumite, just absolutely slaughters 100 men. Now, someone said, all right, let's up the stakes. 200 men, bare fists versus a polar bear. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking at least like 120 men are going down right there. But as for the build, you know what we're rocking. If you watched yesterday's video or the day before's video or whatever I uploaded Darktide last, we got the Mach 4 Cleaver with Slaughter, Savage, Sweet, the Mach 2 Ripper with the Shay Cavalcade. Yon came out of nowhere. Got Heavyweight, Smash 'em, Best Defense, Big Friendly Rock that would soften them up, Pumped Up, Indomitable, Stomping Boots, Trample, Slam, Strike True, Batter, Bone Breaker Zora, Bruiser, Get Stuck In, No Pushover, Attention Seeker, Frenzied Blows, Dominate, Delight and Destruction with Heavy Hitter, Unstoppable, gets you get started, Great Cleaver. That's the build. Let's get into a game, shall we? Alrighty, and we're in. You know, other discourse on Twitter today, one that's less funny. There is a, I don't want to say like pandemic or whatever. There's a culture of people who've never taken a philosophy class trying to philosophize everything. Now, you don't need to take a philosophy class to have philosophy. That's kind of the whole point of philosophy, is that it's your own thoughts, your own individuality. But on Twitter, people will use big fancy words and be like, "Oh, actually, let me read you this tweet. You tell me what you think about it." So it's about. There's an article about essentially like why people are so obsessed with silence or whatever, and like how it's TLDR, people don't like it when you blast TikToks on the train at full volume. This person tweets, "Obsession with pro noise cancellation and silence headphones, thus no talking on speakerphone, watching videos, etc. in public, surely a fascist cultural victory, signed at dark times ahead." What are you talking about? The article is about, okay, Spotify CEO said his competitor is not Google, it is silence, okay? When people talk about noise, there's two types to think about it when it comes to your environment. The sound of community, and then the sound of selfishness. So here's the sound of community: talking, laughing, like playing music. I don't mean like on your speaker, I mean like you got your busking. You know, being involved with people around you. And then the sound of selfishness is yapping on speakerphone, not monitoring your voice volume when you're on the phone, playing TikToks or videos or music in a speaker on a loud volume, being a general nuisance, okay? Don't get those twisted. People love the sounds of community, they hate the sounds of selfishness. And now, I know that sounds like hoity-toity nonsense, but that's the best way I could put it to make sense in my head. Like, I don't mind if someone's busking on near me and playing like a guitar, or even if they're playing music. Sometimes that's like, you know, but like if they're literally shouting on speakerphone or have on speakerphone involving me in the conversation I don't want to be involved in, and you know, it's just I don't want to deal with it, quite frankly. Or like watching TikTok. Oh my god, watching TikToks on. When I was at working at Target. There was this one lady, she worked in the pharmacy. Not only would she microwave fish, but, and like every day she had fish. And I'm like, you gotta get tired of fish at some point, lady. She would watch ASMR mukbang videos. So like all the, you know, the eating noises from those videos on like full volume. And it's like, Jesus. I popped the cooldown stim there because there's a trapper coming and I wanted to have the ability to bull charge if needed. But yeah, don't let these hoodlums, because all these people posting stuff like that, actually this is a fascist cultural victory. You've never been on a subway, you've never been on public transportation with one of these people. Like, come on now. And really, if you want to talk about fascist cultural victory, or whatever that means in this context, people being incredibly selfish and like doing more to help you the fascist cultural victory. Anything like being selfish and unconsiderate is more likely to lead to fascism than being compassionate and caring about the people around you, or considering of the people around you, perhaps. Come on now. Speaking of being considerate to the people around you, oh my god, I don't know if anyone's in the VTubers around here. Cinder, very popular Hellhound-themed VTuber, known for releasing one of the world's worst cover songs and essentially being, I don't know, kind of just a very popular VTuber. I don't really know her gimmick other than that. There's gotta be a thing in here. Ain't no way. Someone in my comments said that the spawns are all like set, so if you find one, it'll be there every time. The issue is finding them. They're so hard to find. So okay, let me tell you something about indie VTubers. Whenever an indie VTuber says they have a manager, and that manager isn't really shared with other indie VTubers, 9 times out of 10, it's probably their boyfriend. Which is fine, but obviously it's because they're trying to sell the... Fuck. They're trying to do the thing of like, oh, you know, this VTuber could be my girlfriend one day or whatever. I know there's a lot going on over there. They'll be fine without me. That guy went down and immediately left. Anyway, Cinder's manager, / boyfriend. We know it's her boyfriend. It's not like, you know, VTuber schizo posting. Jesus. Sorry, one sec. Let me handle this and then I'll talk about what I was talking about. Okay. Cinder's boyfriend / manager and her, his name's Redacted, or Red for short. Excuse you. We're talking to this artist named Nanoless. You might know them. They've done a ton of models for all the big indie VTubers. Iron Mouse, Shy Lily, Cottontail, VA. I think they've done a couple of Sinners models. They did a Silverveil model, I believe. Just, if you can think of a big indie VTuber, Nanoless is probably there, right? And they're known for, like, having really high quality movement and quality on the models. However, Silverveil and Redacted essentially try to gaslight, gatekeep, and maybe even girl boss a little. To essentially be like, hey, you shouldn't work for anyone but us. And essentially, like, kind of like, I don't want to say bullied, because bullied may not be the apt description. But, like, essentially like, oh, you don't need to do, they'll be fine without you. They don't need you. You should cancel their models. Like, yeah, don't worry about canceling. You know, you should stick with us because we're, like, better for you or whatever. Just shit like that. Which is, one, completely wrong, right? Nanoless does not need Cinder's work at all. Or, like, Cinder's job or money at all or whatever. And even tried to, like, have Nanoless do a bunch of free stuff for Cinder, even though, like, Cinder has, like, Nanoless has done free stuff for VTubers before, just out of the kindness of their heart. And so, essentially, they tried to be like, oh, you should do something for Cinder. You should do something, like, you should do something for, who, you know, the... You know, you're supposed to die to the rock. That's the whole point of why I threw it at you. Anyway. no clue where these communication devices are, by the way. And it's all like a whole, like, yeah, gaslighting, gatekeeping, essentially trying to, like, force this person into exclusivity for Cinder. Obviously to thin out the competition, right? Because they only want Cinder to have these really high-quality sought-after models, right? And then, but while they were doing that, they were, like, shit-talking other VTubers and Cinder's friends, quote-unquote. Being like Shy Lily Bao, being like, oh, you know, this, that, the other, Bao, essentially trying to, like, ruin the image of these VTubers in Nanolos' mind, so that they could help exclusive. And then, you know, just going behind people's backs, stealing, like, ideas and whatever from them. And then there was another VTuber who has a similar aesthetic to Cinder, both being, one is a Cerberus. Cinder's obviously generic Hellhound, fire in her ears, fire tail, stuff like that. Pretty generic nonsense for a Hellhound, right? There was another VTuber, I can't remember their name, forgive me. If you look up Cerberus VTuber, you'll be able to find them. Their whole thing is Cerberus, right? So they have like a three-headed motif. Their model isn't three-headed, but they have like the motifs in there. They have like the flame in the ears, you know, classic Hellhound stuff alongside some Cerberus motifs. Obviously, because this VTuber is smaller than Cinder, they got a lot of like harassment for being like, oh, you're just a Cinder copy. But what goes on top of that is whenever this VTuber made a model, so they made like a comfy model, right? They have a hoodie on, like sort of bangs going over their eyes, you know, kind of like generic comfy anime girl aesthetic, right? They'd announce that model. The next day, or the very same day, Cinder would immediately announce a model like that. It's like, okay, one time is a coincidence, two times is, you know, one time's funny, two times a coincidence, third time's a conspiracy, right? So whenever they announced a new model, so the Cerberus announced a Greek goddess theme model, Cinder announced a Heaven's Hound model, which is very similar in aesthetics, even using like Greek pillars in the background for the model reveal. Aha!
An example of any you uncover.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. I'll do it later. I fucked it up too many times.
I told you to walk on the beach to all this. You didn't listen.
Now is not a good time to indulge your obsessions, Augustine.
You said that before. If you hadn't,
There we are.
Might have beans are of little use now.
Anyway. So like this person was literally blatantly ripping off of this. Cinder was blatantly ripping off of this VTuber, but because Cinder was the bigger VTuber, they could get away with it because then that way the smaller one, even though they announced their models first, would take the heat. Like, oh, you're copying Cinder. So that's an abuse of size over smaller VTubers. And then, like once again, continuously talking shit about other VTubers behind their back. All the while during this time, Cinder released this really shitty cover, and I've said that before, and I'll say it again. It was bad, and now I would say it with a little more spite than I did now, because knowing that they were like an evil person. And everyone that Cinder was shit-talking, and Redacted, don't forget him, was like, oh my gosh, this is so good, you know, this is your first cover song, you're gonna go far, blah, blah, I can't wait to see what you do. All this like behind the scenes slime was happening during all these VTubers sticking out their neck for Cinder, and then it's like, wow. And then Cinder posted posted on Twitter, said Redacted is no longer involved. I was like, Redacted's your boyfriend, girl. You're involved. Sorry. Also, like, nice try to deflect as if you aren't the problem. Because, like, she was trying to say, oh, I didn't know Redacted was doing this behind my back. And then a bunch of VTubers like, yeah, this is my manager. I know what he's doing generally. If he's communicating with someone, I typically know what he's communicating about. It's like, come on now, be so for real. Nerd. Just real quick. So it's just crazy. And they tried to post an apology, like a Google Doc apology. I don't know why I said Google Doc as if that makes it like bad, but the apology was literally just like, oh, it's not my fault. It's all deflection, no accountability. And it's like, wow. And you know what's funny? Initially, it was just Bow the VTuber, or Bow the Whale, is a VTuber, descriptor not needed. Nanoless, like obviously the Cerberus VTuber, who's like getting flamed for all this. Shit. Fuck. It's okay, lock in. I'm dead. Damn it. I'll see you in the next match. Alrighty, and we're back. But yeah, the docs that came out were crazy because they just kept coming after the other. Like so many. Like Silverveil dropped one because obviously Silver got a lot of harassment too because she's another Fox VTuber and like they kind of look similar, so she caught a lot of flack from like Cinder fans or whatever. Not that and let it be said, I don't like Silverveil at all, but the craziest one was someone came forward and said, hey, Cinder used me to cheat on their boyfriend, which is crazy. And they came with screenshots and everything. It wasn't just like, oh, like, here's a description. It was crazy. And, like, Cinder's apology was really fucking bad. Cinder's apology was one deflection, no real apology, and saying shit like, oh, I'm sorry you think I did that to you. It could be the TLDR of it. It's, like, crazy. It's like, wow. Now, how this will affect her career? Well, she's pretty much done with collabs. At least with anyone notable. Right? Like, the only people that are probably going to be willing to collab with her from now on, assuming she even tries to continue VTubing, are people who would just want to, like, cloud farm, right? Who want to, like, try to sap some of the numbers. You know what I'm saying? The guy's name is Dr. Girlfriend. Yeah, it's crazy. Google Docky. Oh. God damn it. Why did I laugh at that? You know, Google really just hit a home run with Google Doc. Can we say that? They did. That's an excellent piece of work right there because it's an easy to use. What was before Google Docs? Microsoft Word? Yeah, Google Docs blows Microsoft Word out of the damn water. Let's be real with ourselves here. Because the nice thing about Google Docs is that it's so user-friendly. It auto-saves. It's very easy to maneuver. They come with a bunch of preset stuff or whatever you can need. So good. And, you know the meme of copy-paste an image into Microsoft Word and have it fit and not ruin your entire text layout. Anyway, where was I? I mean, not gonna really talk about Cinder anymore. I've pretty much talked about all I can unless something comes to my mind. But seeing the responses to her apology to you are so funny. There's like Buff Pup who said, "Just dude, fuck off," and then like Shy Lily released a whole fucking like I'm sorry, I just punched my mic. Use the entire power of her blue check mark to like type a very strongly worded essay. Shit was crazy. But now I'm gonna talk about One Piece for a second. One Piece is a beautiful looking anime, right? No one's gonna deny that. Although I think it has lost some art style integrity post time skip. But that's neither here nor there. One issue I have with One Piece, it's a little bit like the Demon Slayer effect, where there's a lot of flash, no zazz. Every fight I've seen from One Piece in the modern, since I'll say Gear 5, has been like, wow, these animators are incredibly talented. However, I cannot tell you what the fuck is going on. There's like zero choreography. It's just a bunch of like flashing lights and rotating cameras. Also, we gotta get rid of these sound effects, gang. It's just like Kaido's Gear 5 fight was readable. Every Gear fight since then has been completely unreadable. Also, like, I don't know. It's just I'm not gonna say it's over animated because the people who say, "Oh, what's the most over animated movie?" How about we shove you in a locker, buddy? Y'all complain about under animation, now you're not going to complain about over animation that's not even real. What the issue is there's no choreography. It's just all, as I said, all flash, no weight. Or like no direction. Oh. But yeah, it's like the mix of just random. Here's a One Piece fight in the modern era. Black Flash-esque effects, stretching, rotating camera, and a bunch of flashing lights and really outdated sound effects. That's it. That's literally every single one. Now you may be saying, aren't I generalizing? Yes, I am. But at the same time, there's no choreography. It's just a visual clutter. God damn it. Taking HP damage. Fuck you. Yeah, it's just, wow. Gang, can we... Not every fight needs to look like this. And also, like, once again, the pacing for One Piece is so bad. The fights drag out so hard. Where it's like, they drag out scenes that should be like, this should be not as long as it should be. Like, you know the scene in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 where Todo hits his Black Flash? It's like every scene is like that, where Todo's is purposely dragged out, One Piece is dragged out because they're trying to fill time. And that's not my ADHD, it's like, it's straight up going like, why did this kick from Luffy need to take like 30 seconds? It's like, there's no build-up, just have it be cool, I don't know. But like, One Piece fans can never accept criticism of their show, so it's like, you know, it is what it is. Ow. Kick rocks, buddy. I missed my rock on the plate over, and that's only slightly embarrassing. Ripper gun, ripper gun. Yeah, oh, speaking of Twitter being cringe, there's a bit of a noble savage view of, like, people on Twitter, and the people I mean about that on Twitter are, like, all these girls, I don't want to say girls, that is demeaning, all these people, who are like, oh, I love a quirky, nerdy, autistic boy. It's like, you have a noble, savage view of, like, autism. Where is this going, man? There. Like, and what I mean is, like, all these, like, bait posts were like, oh, I love a partner with a little autism. Like, who's a little, like, quirky or nerdy, or, like, I love the shy boy. It's like, you have a noble, savage view of people. Because it's like, they always say that, and then it's like, they're not dating one. And it's like, you are just, I mean, obviously they're doing it for Twitter clicks. Like, there are people who generally have that sort of, like, view in their head. And it's like, you probably should, like, reconciliate that with yourself, I think. Like, especially, like, autism, which is kind of, like, once again, I've said this before, the TikTokification of mental health will be the downfall of society. And there's, like, people who, like, fetishize people with autism. It's like, oh, they're all so quirky and love trains. It's like, no, some of them are genuinely, like, having a rough time in life because of their mental illness. Like, autism is not... Like, people with autism are fine, they're valid, their life experience is precious, but some of them suffer, right? There's a reason why, you have your view is completely shaped by the high-functioning, autists, but there's a lot of low-functioning autists that you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, Twitter user. Like, characters can only be about as autistic as Sheldon Cooper before people on Twitter start getting scared. And I have my view on autistic people that has been shaped by the fact that I was a ski lift operator, and sometimes you would deal with these people. And you gotta do it with kindness and patience sometimes, and that's okay. Working in an amusement park environment will shape your view on humanity in ways that you would not, that no other job really does. I mean, all jobs do that, but like retail teaches you the worst in people, and amusement park territories teaches you patience with people that you normally wouldn't interact with. It gives you access to that, because like a lot of autistic people fucking love snowboarding. I mean, that's just people on Twitter clout clicking, you know what I'm saying? Oh, is there a heal in that station there?
Right to be brave.
Anyway. I mean, Twitter just sucks, right? It's then there to generate clicks and get a rise out of you. Shut up.
I'm having a scrivener take down every word.
There was a dog. Anyway. You know, another thing that pointed out to me, like, people always post on Twitter, like, oh, I had an ex who did this and I need to find it again. It's like they'll be like, oh, I was once with a person who, like, got horny just for looking in my eyes. And then the quotes are always say, then why aren't you dating them? Like, you not dating this person is very telling either about you, well, more about you than them. It's like you had what you wanted, then you got rid of it. So clearly, either they were actually not what you wanted, or something's wrong with you.
Oh, this is all in better nick than I expected. Tide, no profit. If we can get rid
I mean, like, it's the same thing as, like, people, like, well, maybe not that, but, like, me going back to my topic of, like, the TikTok-ification of mental health. Like, a few months ago, like, bed rotting was a trend. It's like there'd be a perfectly mentally healthy person. It would be like, here's my setup for bed rotting, and it's like, you have a clean bed, your walls, your room is clean, you're eating healthy, and like you seemingly have your life organized more than ever. Do you realize that people who like generally like have mental health issues just don't take showers? Sometimes they don't take showers. And it's always fun, it's like, oh, you don't, and like fake bed rotters when a real bed rotter reeks in. Like, come on now. We've all like had mental health days where we lay in bed all day, but that's not me bed rotting, that's me laying in my bed because I'm like, fuck the day. Trying to watch fucking anime on my phone and look at memes. But like, I mean, it's like, you've probably seen this meme of like, people who are depressed don't take showers. It's like, people who are depressed kill themselves. It's like, come on now, be better. I'm not getting on, well, I am getting on these people, but like, I'm not saying like, oh, bed rotting is like, you can't use that term. It's like, no, you should be aware of like, you are not bed rotting. You are sleeping till 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. There's a difference. Because like doing that stuff, like posting that stuff is like, oh, it's quirky. Oh, it's quirky. It's a little TikTok trend. It's like, no. This is a real thing people do because their brain wants them to cease. Oh my god. Anyway, also this sort of comes back into my next easy segue into the next topic. The Ice Bucket Challenge is back. Originally it was for ALS. I think ALS is an autoimmune order, if I recall. I could be completely wrong. If I am, please do forgive me. But this time the Ice Bucket Challenge is for mental health, which is really good because obviously that's a noble cause. However, some of these ice bucket videos, I'm not criticizing the person, I'm criticizing the amount of ice. There needs to be more ice. This is just a bucket of water. I'm not saying dump a bucket of ice on your head, because that would hurt. But like, we can get some more ice in this bucket. There can be more ice. It can be colder. One of my favorites was this bodybuilder, this big fucking dude. Or not a bodybuilder, he's a power lifter, sorry. Big fucking guy. I can't remember his name on Instagram. I think he's also kind of. He might not. No, I don't know. I don't remember his name. Please forgive. He got a bulldozer and filled it with ice water, and had it dumped on him. Like, now that's what we're talking about. I saw another guy who did it as a skit, like who did it in a different way. So he had his boys pick him up and like dunk his head in. And that was pretty funny. Then they like waterboarded him and like did the shit like, where's the money, Lebowski? It's like, it's all going to this charity, link in the description. And I was like, that's fun, that's cool. I like that. That brings me joy. There was 2 scat bombers there. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where's the beast of circle? I missed. Oh, there's no floor there. So that's always fun. Stuff like that's good.
This isn't over. And again, when is anything truly over?
I should be listening to these, but like, someone's been infiltrated. 3 out of 3 communication devices. Nice. Need to do, wow, 20. So hard to find. Okay. What was I gonna say? Anyway, it's good the ice chip bucket challenge is back. I kind of lost what I was gonna say. I did the ice bucket challenge for ALS back when it was first a thing. It was on like Facebook with all my high school friends, or well, I was in middle school at the time, if I do recall. Let's put the medipeg down now. Just shorten the gauge. Hold the door or whatever. Where'd you come from? Wow, that's incredibly yellow. A sniper didn't die to our... I must have hit the arm or something. Ain't no fucking way. Oh, we lost one. Anyway, I'm to talk about D&D for a second. I'm giving my players a familiar called it's a, if you know the Glorp cat meme, the little alien. And they're like, okay, so I kind of just revamped the cat stuff a little bit, just to make it a little more cute. So like, they have a pounce mechanic. I think I stole this from a Reddit, but if they jump, they can pounce on an enemy, and if it's small or tiny, or if it's the same size or smaller than Glorp, the cat will essentially it'll enter strength contest, and the cat will essentially be able to pin it, and when it's pinned, obviously any attacks will be advantage, and then the cat can take a free bite attack. And the bite only does 1d4 piercing. Because it's a cat, it's not meant to help them in combat. It's a little guy. Maybe it'll catch like a rat or a spy device or something, or like it'll do something. But I gave the cat a feat. I called it Ui-ai, Ui-ai-o. You might know the meme. And it says, Glorp can use the sending spell, but Glorp cannot speak any language other than cat. Which is just very funny. Now, the sending spell obviously has the fine text of, like, anyone who receives it can understand it no matter the language. But I think it'd be very funny just to meow at my players and then them figure it out.
Extraction team waiting for your signal.
This really is a formidable body count. Well done.
Well, at least those two have stopped fighting.
Ow. Just can't see, just ripper gun in general directions. You're bound to hit something eventually. I missed. Asshole. Ow, fire. Glorp. Ooh-yi-oo, ooh-yi-oo. Cats are fun, y'all. That being said, when I was looking at pictures of Glorp, there were some, obviously all the alien cat memes, but there was some weird fetish art down there, and I was like, what the hell, I've scrolled way too far. What the fuck? So, be warned, I guess. I didn't take fall damage. Surprised. I don't think any fire is good, green or otherwise. Maybe there's good fire, I don't know. Well, it's technically fire's more of a morally neutral thing, because obviously it doesn't have the capacity for evil, but, you know, and fire, rebirth, or whatever. Nice. Had a rough first run, but then we came back with a second. You'll have to see it. Whew. I need to eat something. I have not eaten all day, and I'm very hungry. Alright, let's see what the Emperor granted us. Got a slap shield. Nice. Well, if you missed one of the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, or don't. I am not your mother. But you better brush your teeth and have a good one. Bye-bye.